Hello, I am Torior, and I'm going to show you what is, in my opinion, the best way to start your game as Poland in Europa Universalis IV. Let's just get into the game. And just to be clear, I will not be playing through the opening strategy, I will just be discussing it, because playing through it would take several hours, and I do intend to make it quick. Alright, so when you start as Poland, you do not have a king. You are in an interregnum, which basically means you get no monarch points, almost, and you cannot declare wars. Seems like it would suck, but it's really not that bad, considering that to remedy that, you get one of the most powerful decisions in the game, form union with Lithuania. To do that, we need our stability to be at 1 and our diplomatic power to be at 100. And this is our priority. We cannot do anything else, we should not do anything else before this is done, and this should be rushed. Because if we get an heir randomly in the process, we'll lose the chance to form the union. So first of all, get some advisors, level 1, in administrative and diplomatic. You can take military as well, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, we don't have a level 1, so I will not take a military because our treasury can't handle it. You can just as well reduce army maintenance because we will not be going to war for a few months at least. Now, to get our stability to +1, we need 123 admin power. We only have 70. And we also need 100 diplo power. As you can see, we're only making 3 per month. That would take 2 years to fill this up. So what we need to do is let the game run for a few months, get some admin power, and then switch your focus to diplomatic. That will let you pass the decision quicker and will also be quite useful later on. And when you do that, this guy, the King of Lithuania, will become the King of Poland. He is pretty good. Okay, let's go to the diplomatic map mode. We start with the vassal of Mazovia and the March of Moldavia. Annexing them is quite important, annexing Mazovia, because it opens up a few decisions. But it is not the most important thing you should worry about. Just form the union, and then we can go on. One important tip, while you are waiting for your power to accumulate, do not accept any royal marriages with whoever offers them. Why? Well, because each royal marriage increases your chances of getting an heir, and getting an heir would ruin it all. You will not be able to form the union if you have an heir. Alright, now let's look at our neighbors. Our prospective allies include Hungary, Bohemia, Austria and Denmark. That means if they have not rivaled us, and I am not mentioning Lithuania, because they will be our subject anyway. So, Hungary has rivaled us. Okay, let's just look who hates us. Denmark, Hungary, the Ottomans, and the Teutonic Order. That eliminates Denmark and Hungary. Hungary will usually hate us, but not always. Leaves us with Bohemia and Austria as prospective good allies. Yes, you can start improving relations, but remember to not go over your diplomatic relations limit until you have formed the union, so you don't slow yourself down on that. Okay, and those are our prospective allies over here. Now, our targets and enemies. Let's just zoom this out a little bit. Muscovy and Ottomans will always hate you. Muscovy doesn't start hating you, but when you get Lithuania, they will become jealous. And they can form Russia, so you should deal with them quickly. I will tell you how in a little while. Now, Ottomans also will be your enemy, but they will usually not be aggressive towards you. It will be sort of a cold war unless you initiate it. Hungary, if they're hostile, you have to be wary of their allies, because Hungary often gets very good allies like France. But if you can strike them when they're vulnerable, they're pretty easy to defeat. Denmark and Sweden. If Denmark is your ally, fine. Ally them, but just don't get a royal marriage, because if Sweden declares a war on them to get independent, you really shouldn't get involved. Just break the alliance and let things happen. If that happens, Sweden can become your new ally, or you can just ignore Scandinavia and conquer it a little bit later. Now, okay, the starting moves and the targets. So what I believe your early targets should be are the Teutonic Order, the Livonian Order, possibly Riga, Novgorod and Muscovy. I will explain in detail. So, first of all, you need to attack the Teutonic Order when you have formed a union. You can't do it before. To do that, you will either need a claim on one of those provinces, here, or you will need a mission. You will often get this mission as Poland, conquer Western Prussia. It gives you 3 claims. Just click it, and see, we have claims here already. Oh, those 4 provinces. Don't only take those, even if you have to leave some. Most important thing is to take Danzig. Why? Well, because it's a very, very good province. It gives you a ton of trade power in the Baltic Sea trade node, and it also lets you pass another important decision, Western focus. When you reach Admin Tech 10 and you own this province, you can basically just click the button and westernize for free. This is super powerful, very good pick for Poland. Also, other countries will want this province because it's so good and juicy. I actually recommend that you move either your capital or your trade port there once you have it. Just be sure to not forget that Poland has a move your capital decision that will undermine this. So first move your capital to Warsaw with the decision, and then either move your capital or just the trade port to Danzig. That is my recommendation. You will get a ton of money from the Baltic Sea trade node. Okay, now let's talk about the war. You will need to declare war on the Teutonic Order. And the Teutonic Order will often ally Livonian Order. Why is this important? Well, if they indeed ally the Livonian Order, you will need to call them in as co-belligerent. They will often have allied Riga. Livonian Order and Riga will often be allied. That will let you annex Riga, which is quite a good province, will give you a lot of money. But that is not the most important thing. Livonian Order has a total war score cost of 96% or 97%, depends on the start. Sometimes they will improve themselves a little bit. If you attack them early, you can take all of them in one war. So what you need to do exactly is, I'll just zoom out so it's brighter, you need to force vassalize them and take this province here, Narva, for yourself, directly. Why? Well, first of all, as your vassal, they will enable you to core it, even though you won't have connection to it. So that's one thing. And you will need to have a core here, so you can fabricate claims on Novgorod. When you have fabricated claims here, it will be easy for you to either just strike at Muscovy if they have taken the land by then, or force vassalize Novgorod, which should be reduced to just a few provinces by then, because Muscovy tends to eat them early, and then attack Muscovy with Novgorod's claims, actually cores, and just return Novgorod's cores to Novgorod, which will be your vassal at that point. Be warned, do not feed Novgorod more than that, because they will become very difficult to annex. And from there on, you should also take at least one province for yourself, bordering Muscovy, so you can fabricate claims on them and attack them. Why is that important? Well, if you don't do that, Muscovy will expand very, very strongly here, and will form Russia. And Russia is a big threat. They have endless manpower and can, well, usually not defeat you easily, but they can be a major threat. So you should deal with them early. So, to reiterate, attack Teutonic Order, call Livonian Order as co-belligerent, force vassalize them, taking Narva for yourself, fabricate claims on Novgorod, force vassalize Novgorod, feed Novgorod's cores back from Muscovy, attacking Muscovy, keep attacking Muscovy until they're gone. One interesting thing, you can actually feed provinces to Lithuania. They will usually not become rebellious, because they will love you, always. Historical friend modifier. So if you feed stuff to Lithuania, they will core it, and then, when you annex them while forming the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, you will get their stuff for free, all of their stuff, and all of their cores. You will be able to form it at Administrative Technology 10, and you will instantly inherit all of Lithuania. If you want, you can delay that, feeding them a lot of land so that they will core it for you. But I think it's a little better to just pass that decision, because it will make you immensely powerful. Alright, so strategy regarding Livonian Order: force vassalize, then annex. Novgorod, force vassalize, feed, annex. Riga, annex. Teutonic Order, take provinces Danzig as early as possible, then the rest, just directly. Do not take the missions that tell you to vassalize the Teutonic Order. Just take the land directly, because that will be too many vassals. And after you have taken that, you will be the most powerful nation in Europe, and you will actually not have made many enemies, because those lands will not give you a lot of aggressive expansion. Some in the northern German states, yes, because of the Teutonic Order, but that is all. And after you have done that, you do have a very advantageous position. You can do whatever you want. You can go into Siberia, you can conquer the Ottomans, you can actually take on all the German states, but just be wary of the coalitions, because if they ally up and attack or just fight you, you'll probably not be able to resist. You will have more land, but the modifiers and common sense make lots of small nations very powerful. So be wary of the coalitions. Do not take stuff from the HRE too quickly. If you're friends with Austria and allied with Austria, you will probably avoid the imperial territory demands, but that is debatable. And yeah, you will probably need at least 2 allies. You can ally France and Castile later, possibly Great Britain, but Great Britain usually just stays in the Isles, so I would not recommend that. But this is all in the future. First, attack Teutonic Order, Livonian Order, Novgorod and Muscovy. After you wipe them out, you are super powerful. And this is my opening strategy for Poland. I think I have explained it pretty clearly. Okay, now my picks for the ideas as Poland. So, from the administrative ideas groups, I would suggest humanism, because as Poland you will have a lot of land that is not your religion, usually Orthodox, if you decide to attack the Ottomans, also Sunni and Orthodox. And with humanism, you will not have to worry about religious unrest. It makes everything so much easier. Also, the accepted culture threshold reduction will get you more cash. And basically, years of separatism will make annexing territory quite easy. So this is my most important pick for Poland. Now, the other administrative idea group is pretty good because of the core creation cost and the synergy with influence. I will talk about it in a little while. So this is also a good pick. Now, expansion ideas. If you want to colonize Siberia, you will want to take expansion, but you don't have to hurry, because you will still have to conquer Muscovy and Kazan and Perm first. So you do have some time for that. Also, it will still be a long time until anybody gets to Siberia and cuts you out. Also, it would give you some free casus belli against the less advanced nations in Asia, which is also important. So this is my, let's say, third pick, but it is not necessary. Religious could replace humanism, but in general I think humanism is better. Economic is good but not essential, and so is innovative. So my picks from the administrative groups: humanism, administrative, possibly expansion. Now, the diplomatic ideas. As Poland, you will definitely want influence, because of the diplomatic annexation cost reduction, and more relations. You will usually be running a lot of vassals as Poland. At least I do. And the annexation cost reduction is very, very useful, especially if it's paired with administrative ideas. If you have influence and administrative, you can pass a policy that will reduce the cost even further. Also, you will probably be running, at least if you're playing my strategy, with more diplomatic relations than you can handle. Possibly 6 out of 4, maybe even 7. That is usually not a problem, but if you have influence or diplomatic, you get more relations, which helps that. My second pick would be diplomatic, just for the same reason. More diplomats, more relations, more diplomatic reputation. These are all useful factors, so you might want to pick that. Now, other espionage, just don't take it. It can be fun sometimes, but it's mostly useless. Trade ideas could give you quite a lot of money in the Baltic Sea trade node, but I find that in Europa Universalis IV, money is rarely the problem. So you can get cash in other ways. If you especially like trade, by all means do it. But if you don't, then it's probably not worth it. Exploration, only if you want to go to the New World. You can do that going through Norway, but if you don't, it's useless. So, yeah. Maritime, I would not recommend it. You will be mostly a land power. And influence, we already talked about. Now, military. You're probably aware that as Poland, you have the access to very strong cavalry. Just let me show you that compatibility plus 33%, that is huge. If you pair that with aristocratic ideas that increase compatibility and quality ideas that also increase cavalry compatibility, you will have over plus 50%. What was that? 33? You will have plus 53% compatibility of cavalry, which basically means that you will do the achievement of Polish hussars, which were the most powerful cavalry of the period in Europe, and also you will just have awesome cavalry. So if you want that, then go for aristocratic and quality. If you don't care about that, you can just go your generic military ideas, possibly quality, quantity, offensive, yeah, all that. Defensive will probably not be as useful unless you get attacked by the coalitions, but if you play this properly, you will probably not be attacked, and then defensive is less useful than offensive. So yeah, my recommendations, probably aristocratic and quality, just to experience the awesome cavalry ability, and then possibly quantity or offensive. Alright, and to sum up, we just talked about military, just coming back to administrative, humanism and administrative, possibly expansion, influence, and diplo. Those are my picks for Poland in the idea groups. And I think that concludes this part. Also, as Poland, you will get a unique government type, the elective monarchy, but I will cover that in a separate video because it is quite an extensive subject. Suffice it to say, it will let you form personal unions with others quite easily if you get a little lucky. Alright, this is my opening strategy for Poland. Let me know what you think of it, if you have another strategy that could be better, or if you have any suggestions as to what country I should cover in the next video. Just let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, click the like button, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.